Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my first Q&A for this week, leading up to the third episode of the second season of Fear the Walking Dead. Right, so spoiler warning if you haven't seen episode 2 yet of Fear Season 2. So I've got some questions here from you guys, but not that many. I have a lot of people with really getting some mixed reviews for the episode 2 and for the second season after the second episode. IGN actually scored this one at a 6.8. Let's go over IGN's, quick review. I'll just, some points, and I'll link to it in the description so you guys can have a look, and we'll talk about current interest in terms of the Walking Dead community in Fear right now, because it's interesting to me, I'll get into kind of giving my thoughts in a minute, but here's what it says. Man, Fear the Walking Dead is such a tricky show to latch onto now. Stop there. So yeah, it's a tricky show. I haven't been able to fully formulate my ideas about it because it's still underway. It's still in progress, right? Of course. We've got a lot still coming for season 2. Then they say, as we slowly creep into the second season, the series has become more difficult to invest in. Maybe first-timers, as in those who never actually watched The Walking Dead, and it puts in brackets, there have to be some, are able to find the clumsy exploits of the Manawa Clark clan engaging and exciting. But given so much of this story, these mistakes are retreads for those of us who have already watched 6 seasons of The Walking Dead, including the slow and laborious second season. Fear the Walking Dead has become a bit sludgy. We all fall down, took our heroes to shore, as if the sea itself were the open road, filled with roadblocks and pit stops. It's a cool concept, as was the idea of a mirror family, a tight-knit clan, all about self-reliance and dying together. But like the premiere, flat scenes and rotten character choices weighed this one down to 6.8. So this is the thing with Fear, right? We have seen 6 seasons of The Walking Dead. I've seen each episode at least probably on average 4 times at this point. I've seen the show quite a few times. It's my favorite show ever, pretty much. It addresses a lot of the things we're seeing in Fear, and in some ways, it even skipped over a lot of the stuff and kind of went even further. Because with Fear, in the first season, we start off and we see our characters before the zombie apocalypse. In The Walking Dead, they kind of skip mostly over that. They have a quick scene with Rick and Shane, but then past that, they skip over a lot of it from the coma and that, and we get some flashbacks and stuff. So the thing is that The Walking Dead is at such an interesting place right now in season 6, where they're well into the zombie apocalypse, a couple years in, and we're getting to see big groups. We're getting to see some really big things. They're doing a lot of spectacle things with the original Walking Dead, huge zombie herds and big communities and all kinds of stuff that they're doing, and we're really invested and attached to those characters at this point in The Walking Dead season 7 and season 6. With Fear the Walking Dead, it's still in kind of that original unknowing survival mode at the beginning, where they're still figuring things out. And in the first season 2, this was the same kind of deal. It seems like to me, Fear is pretty slow to get started with its season. Season 1, a lot of people were really upset because it had started off with the premiere with a pretty slow-paced episode where you just had like one zombie or a couple zombies in the first few. And they didn't really go that big, so to speak, with regards to the spectacle. And then the finale came and just blew us all away with Fear's first season finale, which I thought was great and the best episode they've done so far. So I understand. I see both sides of it. I get it. Some of it is retreading some old ground that we haven't seen for a while in the original Walking Dead, which we've kind of just accepted as that's part of reality, where our characters are still finding that out in Fear. And that may, as IGN says here, kind of, since we've already experienced all of that and we already know all of that, it's a bit difficult to get into the characters and the struggles that they're going through right now, because it feels like it's so far back in time for us as viewers, and that we've kind of seen it before. Which, of course, because it's a companion series set in the same world, it's a tricky balance between creating something that's different and creating something that's unique. and then creating something that feels familiar. You don't want to feel too familiar to where you're repeating things and they're realizing, like, killing zombies on the fence just like it was the prison and stuff like that. But you want to feel familiar enough so that it feels like it's still Walking Dead. So that's a tricky balance to have to work with. And really the concept of the show is to capitalize on The Walking Dead's popularity and have another show for AMC that's going to work better than Turn or some of the other stuff I saw in the commercials, for the episode last night. There's quite a few people who've left some comments in the video I want to address, or just kind of go through, because a lot of people seem to be not feeling it in the channel. I do reviews for it, do predictions. A lot of people are just like, I'm not into it. This one's from ADZ164, and he says, this episode was still a snooze fest. Nothing noteworthy happened. We got a new family, which the show tried to make us care for or care about them before getting rid of them in the same episode. The only interesting stuff was the Strand stuff. I love the first season, but 2 episodes into the second, and I'm just not feeling it so far. ADZ164. Next one's from Emily Moreno, and she says, I'm not really into this show that much. Anyway, you can sort of talk me into watching it. And then next one's from Fozible, and he says, I might stop watching the show. It's not that good. Now, there were some people that really like it, and they're like, I like this episode, it was good, so it's like the community is kind of split. Like, half people are liking Fear, they're enjoying it, they're appreciating having it on versus nothing. The other half is like, why bother? It's really not that good anyway. I'll watch it, but whatever, I'm just not into it. I can't talk you into liking it if you just don't like it. I mean, I talk a lot about, do a lot of videos about The Walking Dead and Fear and other shows too, and it may help spark your interest a little bit with regards to, reviewing trailers or reviews of the episode, kind of adding on, like AMC officially does with Talking Dead. That's really what it is. They're using Talking Dead to try to, and Talking Bad and Talking Saul and Chris Hardwick and all of the stuff he does, to kind of spark and get people to think more about the episodes and really see how much effort they're putting in and how much character dynamics and all the different types of things that they talk about afterwards. Just try to get people to really focus on all the intricacies of the show a little bit more. So that's, yeah. So, but I can't make you like it if you're just not into it. But what I would say is this: give it time, because the same thing happened after the first season of Fear. After a few episodes, people were like, I'm dropping this. I'm just going to wait for Walking Dead. And if they did, they would miss out on a great ending to the first season. Maybe it's Dave Erickson's kind of show-running style, that he has a slow burner type of style, or the writing team for Fear has that kind of a style, where it seems like in the second episode, to me anyway, with regards to what they did with this family, bringing them in, then bringing them out, it kind of feels like they didn't really know what to do with the second episode, so they wrote this in, but it's not part of a larger plot, and that's weird to have it there. There's some valid concerns here, I think, with regards to the show and kind of the direction of it, where they're going with it, and what we're going to see happen, what they're going to do. I really don't like filler episodes myself, and we'll see in the future if this was just simply a filler that they put in, because now they have to do 15 episodes. That said, even the original Walking Dead in its second season had similar kind of stuff. But it seems to me they're putting a lot of their spectacle and a lot of their money and investing in the regular Walking Dead. Fear is kind of an extra thing that AMC is doing, almost like an afterthought, so to speak, which I think is why a lot of people are not that satisfied with it or not that into it. Granted, it must have cost a lot to get the boat and done all the shooting near the water and everything. I'm sure that cost quite a bit for the budget. But yeah, I can't make you like the show. If you're not into it, I apologize. I'm sorry, I guess. But, give it some time. See, maybe after a while you'll like it more. And you can't judge it all by one episode, because each episode, when you have 15 or 16, not every show is going to bring it every episode so that you're getting to see incredible stuff. Even The Walking Dead has slower episodes, weaker episodes here and there, and people get upset after sometimes. But, it's a TV series. We can't expect too much, right? So TSG says, hey, Trev, do you think Fear the Walking Dead deserved a Season 3 renewal? In terms of the viewership, yes, it did, because AMC has lots of shows, like I think Better Call Saul right now. Now, this is like blasphemous. Right now, Better Call Saul, I think, is only getting around like 2 million views an episode in its second season, and Fear is getting like 6 for its premiere for season 2. We'll see if that continues. if episode 2 and episode 3 and onward get around 5 or 6, which is good. But yeah, in terms of viewership, it definitely does deserve it. In terms of quality of the show, is really hard. After the season 1 finale, I'd say yes. And now, after a couple episodes into season 3, maybe not. But we really have to see where they're going with this. Right now, it's like trying to figure out something part of the way through. You got to wait until you see the whole picture before you can really say, I think it's too early to say right now. We'll have to see how some of the later episodes sort out and what it all builds to, because it could be building to something great. Just right now, I'm just not seeing it. But we're only 2 episodes in. It just kind of started. So let's see. Here's a good one. I like this one here. This was actually, somebody mentioned this. I forgot to write down their name, but they said, Trev, would you like Fear better if it was based off of a comic book series or a book that you had read prior? And that's interesting. Is do you enjoy? It's like kind of with the regular Walking Dead. Do you enjoy it more because you read it in a comic book and now you're seeing some of those parts adapted in the TV series? Do you enjoy it more because you read the book first? And I'd almost say yeah, because with regular Walking Dead, I love to see these parts, and you're watching the show and you get to see those adapted and how they work out in the TV series, and it just adds to the experience for me. Whereas with Fear, we really have no idea where they're going with it. We don't know what to look forward to because we're not there yet. We got to wait until they get to those parts, some of the great parts. Your big character deaths and maybe group versus group, or them finding a home base eventually. These type of things, and then what kind of the show is going to be about itself, and how is it going to feel season to season, reinventing itself, changing, and yeah, so we'll see, man. They can't be on the boat forever, right? They got to find some place later. But I think you're right that the fact that we read the comic book first for The Walking Dead, I don't think it subtracts from the show. I think it actually does add to it and make you look forward to it even more. Then when you know Negan's coming, you get all excited because you know who Negan is. If you didn't know who he was, you'd be like sitting there like, oh, this guy's scary, whatever. Is he going to kill somebody? Oh, man, he's going to kill somebody. This is crazy. Who is this guy? But you wouldn't have that kind of background excitement for it because you hadn't already, read into who it is and everything. Yeah. So for everybody who's kind of disinterested in Fear at this time right now, I feel you guys, because I'm like in the middle. I am interested in it, but I'm not like diehard right now, which is weird because usually for everything Walking Dead, I am a comic book series or the original series. But let's be patient. Let's give them their time and see what they have for us. It could get better. And, The Walking Dead Season 2 has some slower parts, too, where I remember people were complaining. Yes, I even did reviews back in Season 2 of the original Walking Dead. And sometimes people were complaining after the episodes, too, saying that they didn't like, Secrets or some of the ones where it was just slower. But at least there was developments. There was things happening with the characters, except for some of the parts where they were just on the farm, just kind of sitting there. Daryl, going out and getting shot and stuff, and by Andrew accidentally and some stuff like that. So there's some slower parts too. So let's just be patient and let's see where they go with Fear. Hopefully it will get quite a bit better. We're only 2 episodes in anyway. It's a little early to draw conclusions, I think, on, hey, do I like it or do I not like it? A lot of people are kind of doing that right now. Just give it time. Give it time for sure. So I'll call it here for this Q&A because there weren't too many questions either, which again is part of the interest. Are people disinterested? Unfortunately, yes, they are. I hope they kind of get it back, or Fear kind of does something big and we get to see some really cool episodes, and then maybe people will get more into it. Write your comments below. Let me know what you guys think. Are you really interested in Fear still? Are you in the middle, which is kind of where I am, or are you like, I'm done with this. This is just crap. Write your comments below. Let me know what you think. If you like this video, this Q&A, please thumb it up below. You can also share and favorite at the bottom left. If you're new and you want to subscribe, you can subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this one, guys. I'll see you again real soon. Of course, review. I'll continue to be doing reviews, all the usual stuff and everything. And hopefully, Season 2 picks up and, we start to see some more things come together. We'll see. So, always, this is Trev, saying peace. See you guys.